All right, folks, welcome to our webinar this Saturday afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Today, we are talking about Immigrant Entrepreneurs Summit and how IES is coming to Illinois. And we have a special guest today, but before we get into it, a little bit about our firm for those of you that are new. With more than 26 plus years of practice history, Community CPA, and our team members collectively, we speak 10 plus different languages. And we serve 10,000 clients worldwide, and we're adding clients every day and every year. So we have 5 branches currently: Des Moines and Iowa City in Iowa, Minneapolis, and Capitola in California, and now Houston, Texas branch is brand new and open to the public. Our CEO served on the National Taxpayer Advocacy Panel, which is a federal advisory committee that provides advice to the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS. So she has 2 books out and working on her 3rd book, but there's the Appointment with Ying at 10 a.m. That's the newest one that came out, Growing Your Business, and the Appointment with Ying at 8 a.m. was about starting your business. So if you haven't already purchased this book, you can visit our Amazon and look for Appointment with Ying at 8 a.m. and Appointment with Ying at 10 a.m. to purchase this book and learn a little bit about what Ying advises on how to start your business and how to grow your business, and it's story driven. So we have clients who never read books cover to cover, and they come and tell us, "Oh, your book, I finished it in one sitting." So it's fun and it's not boring. And if you heard Ying talk, it's just like how she talks, so you will enjoy it. Now, talk about our new Houston, Texas branch. It is located at 4740 Ingersoll Street in Houston, Texas. Open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5:30. So this is what the office looks like. Looking forward to seeing you there if you haven't been already. Now, we have to read this no responsibility disclaimer. As you know, Community CPA, we're providing these seminars and webinars in order to disseminate knowledge that may be helpful for our businesses and our business clients out there to grow and to learn at your own leisure. We are not responsible for any damages the attendees may suffer as a result of following any of these advices or information here and provided, although we're always trying to do our best to stay informed, give you the most up-to-date information, but always know that information could change. It's fluid, right? Changes all the time. So we just want to make sure we have this disclaimer out there for our audience today. Let's talk about IES. And Catherine Tran is the executive director. She is here with us. Hi, Catherine. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, Dan. Thank you for having me. Very excited to share about the event.
We're always excited about the event and appreciate you joining and appreciate you for being here. And let's talk a little bit about it. It's going to be more Q&A style, folks. So you want to share a little bit about how Community CPA got involved and what it means for Community CPA to be a presenting sponsor?
Yes, of course. So most of you might not know, but the CEO and managing partner of Community CPA, Ying Sa, she was a founding board member of our organization and has continued her support on the board. She is a board chair and has always been a champion of small businesses. So really, IES kind of grew out of the needs that Community CPA was seeing, that other organizations working with minority and immigrant populations were seeing in their own community. And they were saying, like, why were these businesses struggling? Why what can we
Mm.
do about it, right? How do we close the knowledge gap that exists between immigrant and minority-owned businesses and
That's right.
their other counterparts? So this event was created to gather the greatest business minds in the area, right, into one space so
Right.
that we can learn and grow together. And since 2008 is when the organization first started, Community CPA has been a presenting sponsor, supporting it in various ways, but every year sending volunteers to support the event
Mhm.
and help develop it. So always very appreciative for Community CPA for doing that. So thank you, Dan, and the rest of your team for participating.
Absolutely. I know. Um, we're always excited to be there. I know this first part really goes hand in hand with our first question later, but tell us a little bit more about the summit taking place in Moline. I see these are the dates. Is that right?
Yes. So we have three main events of the year. So
Mm,
we have one in Minnesota that happened earlier this year in
that's
the
right.
spring, and then this event happens in the fall of every year around
Mhm,
August or September time generally.
mhm,
This year will be on Thursday, September 12th, and it is a full day event hosted in the Quad Cities. So Vibrant Arena at the Mark is the location for the event, and it will run from 8:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. So you can expect just a full day of programming when you come. So we will talk a bit more about the website and where you can find information about that in a little bit.
yeah, this place I remember always changes their name. I believe at one time it was called Tax Slayer.
Yes, a lot
But
of
for
people
those
still
of
know
you,
it as that.
yeah, for those of you not familiar with Vibrant Arena, that's what it is. They just kind of rebranded, changed their name, but that's where it's gonna be held at. So we want you to know where this is at, okay? So I know Catherine talked a little bit about the first question, and the purpose. And
Yeah.
so maybe talk a little bit more about the mission and the history.
Yes, of course. So as I mentioned, it started in 2008 as that initiative to support immigrant and minority businesses. So as
Yes.
it has formed and formalized, really the mission is to bring businesses of diverse backgrounds together to share, learn, and celebrate, of course, the immigrant entrepreneurship experience and contribution to
Mm-hmm.
the overall community. So what that looks like is are various ways, right? But throughout each of our events, there are some commonalities, some common themes. So there are workshops um, that do those things. So again, bringing experts in various fields to share
Oh
about
yeah.
their expertise, and so that people can learn and upskill their business. And then there's always connecting. So there are exhibitors that will come and share what they have that support immigrant and minority and small businesses in general. So you have a product or a service. This is where you can connect with others who are looking for those. And then we celebrate. So generally, either in a luncheon setting, we have an awards ceremony, or a luncheon panel where we get to highlight immigrants' success stories or immigrants'
Mm,
thoughts about business and what the business environment looks like. So we're looking forward to that as well. But yes, that is really the initiative of IES. Each region has their own needs, and so we
mhm.
always try to address those needs for the region. Yeah, as we work through it. So different communities and different partners come to each of those events. So I wanted to
Yeah.
share about that as well. So our sponsors this year for this event are, of course, as I mentioned, presenting sponsor is Community CPA, and then we have silver sponsor US Bank. And then we have 4 corporate friend sponsors as well. So that is a big thank you to presenting sponsor and silver sponsor and corporate sponsors, Eccentric Credit Union, SCORE in the Quad Cities, WVIK NPR, and Francis Law. They're all coming to contribute and support this event. So yes, big thank you to our.
Wow. How many exhibitors typically come?
So typically there are about 15 to 20 exhibitors that are, it depends on the venue space. For this one,
Yeah.
it's closer to that 15 exhibitors.
I see. Yeah, I know for the national event, I think it'll probably take place right before Thanksgiving in November. But there's like 50 plus different countries of origin, represented. What do you think will be kind of for Illinois? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I would say more probably about the 20
I
different countries
see.
of origin. So we do have
Wow,
a
that's
lot
so
of
much
people
fun.
from different African origins coming,
Mhm.
different Asian countries, of course.
Oh
And
yeah,
so, and we
I
do have a
remember.
decent Latino population as well.
Yeah, I think that's really what makes IES so exciting, that it's so diverse and you can connect with so many people. But, what do you think our attendees can get out of the event? Like what are the things?
Yeah, so I would say the main thing is that it does bring in together such a diverse group, as you say. I mean, a lot
Mhm.
of different events either are focused on particular demographics or
Yeah.
particular or businesses that are already established and more mainstream type of businesses. And
Hmm.
really, we just bring a lot of different components together so that it is, again, this vibrant community of different nationalities
Yeah.
represented. So yes, in terms of the agenda, this is what you can expect. 8:30 is the registration. We have breakfast there, so you can join and partake in that. And that general time after 8:30 until the opening ceremony, people will network and get to meet each other and visit some of the exhibit booths as well. But then 9 o'clock, we do the opening ceremony, which is where we gather all together. It's a general session, so everybody's in the same room. And we get to hear from some delegates and some sponsors and really just kick off the event on a high note. So the opening ceremony will kind of frame what you can expect for the rest of the day. And then we
Mhm.
go out into different workshops. So there are various breakout sessions that you can go into. So these are not all, not everybody together, but are
How
going
many
to be
classes
different.
are there?
Yes, there are 9 classes throughout the day.
I see.
So 3 workshops per session time.
Mm.
And so you can pick and choose what is best for your business and for your industry or the stage that your business is in. There's different things that we target. I would say generally, if you're worried that a topic might be too complex, I will say our speakers generally are very good about keeping
Mhm.
the level very understandable, not using too much difficult jargon. So
Jargons,
just
yeah.
making it accessible to you and your stage in business. And they are very open to questions and very interactive
Mm.
as well. So if you ever have questions during the workshop, you can always feel free to raise your hand. You're not interrupting or disrupting it. It will help clarify not just for you, but for others in those sessions as well. So 2 kind of back-to-back sessions. We have a morning, 2 morning sessions, and in between those, you can feel free to meet with exhibitors, but we also have some time blocked out to visit with exhibitors if you want to make sure to visit all the sessions. Um,
Networking,
yeah,
yeah.
networking, it's super important for businesses. And
Mhm.
then during the noon time, we have a luncheon. So in this in this one, we'll have an immigrant entrepreneur panel. So we have different immigrant business owners that we've invited to kind of speak about their struggles, their successes, any recommendations that they will have for different your businesses, right? And what they're seeing in their respective industries. So it is really made to be a shared learning session where, of course, you can enjoy lunch, but also you get to hear from their expertise, their experience, and have a better understanding of what the business environment is from various perspectives. So that's the value of that. It will be great. And then again, exhibitors in the afternoon, plus afternoon, there's a final workshop towards the end of the day as well. So that session will happen before our closing, and then we have a giveaway. So that is a time, again, we wrap up what we've learned, and we can hear about what is coming up ahead for the national, which I know you said it's November 16th, which is on a Saturday.
16th.
And yes,
Mhm.
and that is in Ankeny, Iowa, and that's our big event. So we get about 900 attendees, and about 25 exhibitors, 21 different workshops. So it's our big event.
National event, yeah.
Yeah, yes. So we share about that in the closing as well as other opportunities, and then giveaway, we have technology, little prizes to give away.
Gadgets.
Yes, gadgets,
Yeah.
gadgets, exactly.
I remember those. And I remember this luncheon and this panel was so insightful, all coming from different backgrounds last year. I remember this may have been the first time last year, but I really enjoyed, I particularly remember enjoying it because it was coming from all sorts of different speakers' backgrounds and walks of life and different industries. And so the way they looked at things was very insightful and interesting. I remember. So I remember thinking, oh, this probably covers a lot of people's, concerns that may not, be the same. But because it's, addressing it so many different angles, I felt like people really took away some good things. But
For sure.
for the event, there are a lot of great, wonderful things, as we shared in the agenda. But can you tell us a little bit more about like the keynote and the highlights that our attendees can be excited about?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as I mentioned, we do have an opening ceremony. In that, we're going to have a keynote speaker. Her name is Ladrina Wilson. She works with with a consulting business. I'm in consulting. And she is actually a returning visitor. She's been with us in the past and really going to be speaking about showing leadership in your business, and supporting the growth of your business as
That's important.
with your staff. So
I
so
see.
yes, that is what the keynote for that part will be.
Okay.
Okay, so luncheon, again, we have an
Are
immigrant.
these our panelists?
These are our panelists. I just got the photo for the third one, so I'm sorry that I don't have her picture, but I'll talk about her. So we have a panel of immigrant entrepreneurs here that I am happy to share about. And so the first one, of course, we've invited Ying to talk about her business. Ying Sa is the CEO and managing partner for Community CPA, which is an accounting firm, a tax and accounting firm. And so she's going to be talking about what she sees not just in the growth of her firm, her business, but also with what she sees from her clients, right? So Dan, you mentioned in her books, she has all these stories because she has all these appointments with her clients. So her view of the business landscape is not just small and what her business is doing, but it's also what her clients are facing, what they are learning, what is currently impacting the business landscape. So she shares about that.
Mhm.
And then we also have a lawyer on the panel. His name is Xavier Francis. He is the founder and managing attorney of Francis Law. And they work again more on the immigration side of business. So he's actually going to be doing a workshop as well, which I will get
Okay.
into later. But yes, his firm really focuses on supporting businesses in their legal space around different work visas. So he's going to share about that. And the
Wonderful.
last one, her name is Ayawa Viawanu. She's an owner of DL Magnifico Boutique, which is based in Moline. And so she's going to be talking about her business journey as she has grown her business, what it's been like to be in that retail space in the Quad Cities. So those are going to be our 3 panels, very different industries, very different
All different.
experiences. Yes,
Yeah.
correct. And from different backgrounds as well. So Ying from a 2-time immigrant, once from China, then from Canada to the US. And Xavier, he is originally from the Dominican. And
Oh.
Ayawa, she is from Togo. So yes, we
Oh
have
man.
a very diverse panel that will represent. Yeah.
It's gonna be, I think, a ton of great information. I remember enjoying this luncheon panel. So if you're on the fence about the event, wow, just this portion alone can be really insightful, because I remember people could just ask questions, and things like that. So yeah. Our fourth question is talking about business workshops, Catherine. I think I know you mentioned there are 9, but you have some ideas of, what people could expect, or exciting workshops that you want to highlight?
Absolutely. So the first one I want to talk about is a workshop that we have that is really geared towards the upcoming business changes that might happen with the
Okay.
election. So Ying will
Oh,
be speaking on that. She has also previously done webinars about that, but really it will just give small businesses an insight
yeah.
of what potential changes there might be in the business landscape. It isn't political in the sense of like advocating for one or the other. It's just letting
No,
you
we
know
don't do
that
that here.
regulations will change, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And then another one that has been a common and popular workshop, especially for those who are still in that ideation phase, right, of their business, or they might not have formally started their business yet, but might have been dabbling. This will help you kickstart that process to start your business. And how to do it now and how to do it correctly. So Tom Trone from SCORE Quad Cities is going to be representing that. And yes, they're going to be talking about the different processes. So if you are very new to business, this might be a good workshop for you just to get some of the fundamental groundwork for how to do business. And then, as I mentioned, Xavier Francis, he is an attorney. And so he's going to be talking about green card and work visa options for entrepreneurs. And really that is made for those that are, how do you do like a self-sponsorship
Yeah,
for a
that was
visa?
the panelist earlier, right?
Yes,
Xavier.
correct, from Francis Law. So, if a business is working through some immigration processes, or are interested in doing that, then that is a way that they can learn more.
I see.
Then we have somebody from Cirrus coming. That is an organization that, a governmental agency rather, that works a lot on the contracting side. So if you are
Okay.
interested in working with state and federal agencies, or just want to know more about what is that process like? How do I get
Right.
started? What certification, what does that mean? Like, what is that certification process? Mary Zimmerman from Cirrus is going to be walking through that process to give you a better understanding of just how to work with different agencies. And then last that I want to highlight is from Alfred Ramirez from Diverse Strategies Now. He's going to be talking about branding and how that is reflected, not just in terms of understanding your own brand, but also how that is projected externally. So how do you market that, right? How does that show up in social media? So he's going to be walking you really through thinking about branding and how that will impact all levels of what you do in your business.
So important. Yeah, so important. I know talked a little bit about rebranding for the event center over in Moline, but yeah, it's important. What are some other resources that people can expect, at the IES in Moline, Illinois this year?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, there are going to be exhibitors, and these are just a few that we're going to show you. But
Mm,
there are different ones from nonprofit organizations. There are for-profit companies that are going to be there as well to tell you about their services. There are banks, of course, so that's business, and then agencies as well. So governmental agencies are going to be there to share again about the resources that they have that can be used by small business owners. It's really just a source where you can gather that sort of information,
I see.
learn about different opportunities that are available. So, for example, if you went to the Cirrus workshop and still have questions, you can visit their booth. Or if
Mhm.
you didn't get that session because you were in another one, this is the time where you can connect with them, maybe set up an appointment to follow up with them,
Yes.
and they are happy to meet you. All of these exhibitors are huge supporters for immigrant-owned businesses. They really want to see um, these businesses succeed, and all of them have
Yeah.
different resources, many of which are free that people can really take advantage of.
Most of our speakers, wouldn't you say, Catherine, in our seminars, also kind of have their own booth. So if
The
they run out
majority
of
of them.
time, and yeah, majority of them, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Um, yeah, folks, I know it's probably, throughout the day you might have a question about what they said, or things like that, and you can always catch them after the class. And so we want to encourage folks to network with our exhibitors as well. So how do I find out more, Kat?
Yes. So the easiest way is to go to our website, iesusa.org. If you go to that landing page, you'll see at the top there's a banner for that specific event, for the Moline, Illinois event. And you'll click that button, it will take you to that page, or you can go directly to this link, iesusa.org/event/2024 IL. It will have the agenda there. We're going to keep
Mm,
updating it as the event gets closer. And so there's a registration button. You just click the registration button. It'll take you to the form. It's a pretty straightforward process. And so that is the main way. I encourage you to do that. But if you have any questions during that process, feel free to email me, Catherine at iesusa.org. You can also call or text me to find out more about the event and what you can expect. If you're still needing to have more information, I'm happy to tell you. And then lastly, you can stop by any of Community CPA's offices, but the one in Coralville, Iowa specifically will have, we're in Eastern Iowa, so we can tell you more about, you can grab a flyer there, we can help you purchase the ticket. And for Community CPA, we do have a discount code that I wanted to share. So for those that are in this session, if you go to the event page and you go to the form, the registration page, in the form, there's a field for a discount code, and you just type in Community CPA, one word, just Community CPA, no spaces, and that will give you a 50% discount for the ticket.
Wow.
So, that is for our friends at Community CPA.
Wonderful. If you haven't already signed up, got the promo code now. So
Yes.
make sure you take advantage of it, and, we're able to make this event possible because of our sponsors, right, Kat?
Absolutely.
And so, other than Community CPA, there's US Bank, Centra Credit Union. I remember seeing them year after year, Sigma Score, WVIK, and Francis Law. And want to say thank you on behalf of Community CPA as well. Thank you for believing in the mission and the vision of IES and making this event happen year after year, Catherine. And I know some of you that have been a client of Community CPA for a long time also know that I'm also involved with IES, as a program manager in different levels. And so I absolutely love working with Catherine and our team, our planning team that comes together, that supports this event. But Community CPA is really just always at the forefront of sharing knowledge, sharing knowledge with our clients, not only just our clients, but our community, right? Our business community out there. And so IES is definitely an organization we like to partner with and work with. So
Yes.
speaking
Thank you
of,
so much. Yes.
yeah, speaking of workshops, Catherine, you mind if I talk a little bit about our newest branch?
Absolutely.
So Houston, Texas, we talked about that brand new branch in Houston, Texas. If you have referrals to send them our way. If you have friends in that area that are just like, no, I want to see someone in person, that's why we set up the office there. So come and visit us. Set up that appointment with us today. And if you have workshop topics, we want to bring workshops to Houston. That's the way we engage our community wherever we go, whether that's through IES or by opening up a branch and coming to you and sharing topics that you're interested in. What are they? Let us know. Send us an email at info@communitycpa.com or dan@communitycpa.com or cpa@communitycpa.com. These are all ways and avenues you can let us know. And if you're interested after the workshop or before the workshop by doing a consultation, always you can let us know. We can talk to you about that as well. So who are the people that you could do a consultation with? These are the people, right? They are all partners at the firm, including myself. There's a Yi who can cover pretty much everything, but Dr. Howe, in regards to government programs, specializes in that. And I specialize more in the licensing, formation, legal documents, things of that nature. And Song takes care of our Spanish-speaking clients, covers the areas of tax and audit. Quan more so in the area of accounting and sales tax and payroll. And Derek who is in our field of IT and has always changed the way we work with our clients. So I want to just go ahead and give them all a shout out. Make sure that you reach out to us here at Community CPA for areas here that you're interested in, and we'd be more than happy to take care of you and your needs. So thank you again, Catherine, for being here today.
Yes, thank
And
you
our
for inviting me.
attendees. Yes, for being here today, being here with us on Saturday, and tuning in week after week. And if you haven't been to IES, this is your chance. And if you're in that area, make sure you come. And if you can't be there, try to come to our national event, November 16th. So you will see all of our team members here at Community CPA there as volunteers and part of the event, supporting Catherine and the organization. So, Catherine, any last words or things you want to share with our attendees before we wrap up here?
No, I just want to say thank you again, Dan, and then invite all of your audience to come. It is a fun day-long event. It is well worth doing, and you'll
Absolutely.
get to connect with about 150 to 200 attendees. So it is a great
Wow.
thing to be a part of.
I know as business owners, we hear people talk about all the time how it's such a lonely game, right? And as a business owner, you feel like you don't really have anybody else to go to and partner with, share knowledges with, bounce ideas. But
Absolutely.
at IES, you can. And something that always brings me back and strikes deeply within me about IES is that I have really never seen an organization so sustainable in the way in which that there is a person I've seen that came as a participant and then started their business because they were just having an idea, and then they grew their business, and then they wanted to market their business, so they became an exhibitor, and then they grew after a few years and really felt like they took off. And then IES heard about them through an application, a nomination, and then they became an award recipient. And then they were doing so well after that that they came back as a sponsor. So we have seen this whole
Absolutely.
journey through IES, and that is the reason why Community CPA believes in IES's mission and vision and continues to be a part of it. So if you haven't come before, you have to come check it out, and you'll realize what kind of energy and magic that takes place at the place. So that was my last insert I wanted to
Yes,
give
thank you for
before
that
we
plug.
we let everybody go enjoy the rest of their Saturday. But thanks again, Catherine, for being here, and we'll talk to you here soon. And for our attendees, we'll see you there.